What's up, YouTube world? Hollywood here. On today's episode of Hollywood's Historical Ancestor Sunday, Donald Trump. Donald Trump was born on the 14th of June, 1946. He was born and raised in Queens, New York City. His parents were Mary Ann McLeod and Fred Trump. He went to Wharton Business School at the University of Pennsylvania. He then followed his father into real estate. He was elected president in 2016, and whether you like him or hate him, he has earned his way into the history books of the United States of America. And he is my 22nd cousin, one times removed. Here's how. Donald John Trump Sr., his mother, Mary Ann McLeod, was married to Fred Christ Trump, and her father, Malcolm Callum McLeod, was married to Mary Smith, and his father, Alexander McLeod, was married to Anne McLeod, and his mother, Catherine Christian McLeod, was married to William Scarray McLeod, and her father, Donald McLeod, was married to Margaret Cameron, and his mother, Mary McKay, was married to Angus McLeod, and her father, Ansis McKay, and his father, Robert McKay, and his father, Alexander McKay, was married to Margaret Fern, and his mother, Isabella Monroe, was married to Robert McKay, and her mother, Anna McKay, was married to Hugh Monroe, and her father, Donald McKay, was married to Elizabeth Thompson, and his mother, Jane Gordon, was married to Hugh McKay, and her father, Alexander Gordon, was married to Jane Gordon, and his mother was Elizabeth Stewart, and she was married to John II Gordon, and her mother, Elizabeth Stewart, was married to John Stewart, and his father, John Stewart, was married to Eleanor Sinclair, and his mother, Joan Beaufort, was married to James Stewart, and his father was Robert Stewart, and he was married to Annabella Drummond, and their daughter was Margaret Stewart, and she was married to Archibald Douglas, and their daughter, Margaret Douglas, was married to William Sinclair, and their daughter, Margaret Sinclair, was married to Walter Ogilvie, and their son, James Ogilvie, was married to Margaret Inez, and their daughter Elizabeth Ogilvie was married to John Grant, and their son John Grant was married to Marjorie Wilson, and their son John Grant was married to Christian Rose, and their son William Grant was married to Janet Rose, and their son John Grant was married to Hester Foote, and their son William Grant was married to Margaret White, and their son William Grant was married to Mary Morris, and their son Alexander Grant was married to Susanna Morris, and their daughter Margaret Grant was married to James Morgan, and their son Perminter Morgan was married to Charity Young, and their son Elijah Morgan was married to Nancy Smathers, and their son Jephthah Morgan was married to Laura Robinson, and their daughter Lillian Morgan was married to William Harris, and their daughter Margaret Harris was married to Frank Brookshire, and they were my dad's parents. That's it for today's show. See you next time. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, or leave me a comment, or suggestion down below. Like and subscribe.